All right, man. The GP podcast, take 11, Jim Ether. Thanks for being on my show, man.
Thanks for having me on your show.
I'm a big fan of your painting show on YouTube, Painting with Jim.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of your beard.
Thank you. I've been growing it my whole life just for you.
Looks great.
So on your Etsy page, you sell your art, and one of the features that you also sell is your show. You could buy an episode of Painting with Jim, and it's not even that ridiculously expensive. It's, in fact, super cheap.
Thank you. Yeah, it's handy. You know, it's an extra $25 for me, and it can work for promotion, and people are interested in seeing me doing their work. They can do it. You know, it takes time to edit all that stuff. You know, it takes time to edit and everything. So you're paying me to edit, and I'm very grateful every single time. I think we're on episode 45.
That's amazing. I think I've bought 3 episodes myself. I'm just so tempted just to feel involved in the part of the process. And the times that I have a vision in my head and I give it to you and you express it on a canvas, it's amazing.
Thank you. Art can be a hive mind activity, and it's cool. It's cool when people get together to make creative things. So thank you for that. Thank you very much for that.
So how did you decide to do painting as a profession? Because I know you don't have a part-time job or anything.
No. Well, about 8 years ago, I moved to Ohio, and I had a little bit of savings from my job. And I had tried to make art like probably about 3 times in the past. Like, this is gonna be it, but it never worked out. And so when I got here and I had my savings, I'm like, well, the cost of living here is cheaper than Massachusetts. And I thought maybe I could try it. But okay, you ever seen those Little Tykes school bus things that kids like? They're like little cars. They have yellow. They're yellow on the top, and they've got red on the bottom. And little kids sit in them like they Fred Flintstone it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so they're like injection molded plastic things. The one place I went to apply for a job when I got here was at a company that made those. And when you walk in, the fumes are outstanding. It's terrible. I was late for my interview because I couldn't find the place. And they handed me this 30-page job application. And then I think I got all the way to the page where it like talked about getting a piss test. And I mean, I don't do anything that would fail a piss test, but it's just, I was like, fuck it, man, I'm gonna try to do my own thing.
That was it. That's just to flip the table. Piss test was the final straw that made you not even apply.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's a liability issue because I've worked at places where people were on heroin and they'd nod off on forklifts and stuff, and it's just like real bad news for the company because, you know, they can get hurt, they could hurt other people. Like, I understand the reasoning behind piss tests, but it's just like, ugh. So, yeah.
Is it the pee that you have the problem with, being in a cup? Or
I've been doing that. I know how to pee.
Is it the invasiveness of your lifestyle?
It might be the invasiveness, and not just of my lifestyle, because I don't, you know, I'm not going to fail it, but it's just, come on, man. Like, you want me to stand at a machine that pumps out fumes, like 8 hours a day, making this dumb plastic kids shit, I don't know. I don't know. I have a funny feeling it was a pretty high turnaround job. 'Cause you see a lot of people with like jail tattoos and shit. So yeah, I just sold paintings real cheap and made a gazillion of them, and it paid the bills. That's how it happened.
So one of your projects I want to talk about specifically is your 1,000 mimes on 1,000 plums. You painted the same image over and over again 1,000 times in some sort of conveyor-like process.
Yeah.
And what a tedious job that must have been. What made you go crazy and do that?
Well, this profession, there's a lot to making artwork. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of promotion. Some of it's a cult of personality thing, where you could make shit art, but like rock stars, some people became infamous for their bad attitudes and stuff, or their drug use or whatever. But there's so many things that are not just you making good artwork, because if no one's seeing it, it's you're not going to sell it. So the purpose behind the 1,000 mimes was, well, I was broke, because I'm mostly always broke, and I thought, well, if I could sell these pieces for $5 a piece, that's $5,000. It did not work that way at all. But I ended up. It took over. I think it took like 6 or 8 months for anybody to even pay attention to the video. And my buddy Gabriel, he posted it on Reddit, and then people bought some. But that wasn't the question. The question was why.
Why would you paint 1,000 go crazy?
It's the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
It's the spectacle of it. Because if you see 1,000 of one thing, you think that looks interesting, right?
I was very inspired by this project of yours. I painted 100 cats with the same frame. It's like a really close up of a cat face, and I made each one unique. I've painted 95 so far. I'm not quite done, but every time someone comes over and I have them hanging up on one wall, and it's just like, it's mind-boggling how much space, because each one's on an 8x10 dollar store canvas, and I don't know, I feel like I stole your idea just by doing it, but it's kind of unique in its own way.
They used to pop up in my feed a lot. I enjoyed seeing them. It's great practice. If you go into it, like, I went into the mimes knowing they weren't really going to sell. I think there's an old proverb from the East somewhere about to learn to paint a landscape, first you need to paint a bamboo 1,000 times, and then you paint the grass 1,000 times, and then you paint the sky 1,000 times, and then that's how you learn how to do it.
So now you're an expert at painting mimes on plums.
Well, I could do a few of the strokes in my sleep, but yeah, I mean, repetition and doing things over and over and over again is the best way to get better at something.
You know what would be a good project for you right now? Is if you get everything ready to paint one mime, you get all the paint ready, and then you blindfold yourself and you attempt to paint a mime blindfolded.
Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. I've never done it blind. I've only sketched something blind. I'll try that.
Yeah, you should. That would be a good painting with Jim, or maybe its own video or something.
See, it's the gimmick of it. It's the gimmick that makes people want to see things. It's the gimmick of people dropping a bowling ball into a kiddie pool full of oobleck that makes people want to see things. It's a gimmick. It's not, it's stupid.
Have you had much success with your YouTube videos?
No.
I don't think. Yeah, I was watching through some of them. I watched the first couple of poem times that you did again, and they're fantastic. I love them, but they're just so silly
you.
and.
Yeah, I missed the boat, man. I missed it.
And just not even switching topics, but you're also a filmmaker of sorts. You've made 2 feature films in the past. One was live
Yeah.
action, one was entirely animation.
Yeah. I still owe the people one more.
That's right. You have
There was
one in the works too. So
Yeah. And after that, I don't think I want to do any more ever again. Like, the first movie was like hope based. Like, I'd never done it and I'd never seen something like it. Or I've seen just a few things like it. But if I can do that too. And I had the fire inside me. And the second movie was an opportunity. Like, I got a little bit of bread to, and I got to go up to your great country
Canada.
and shoot. Yeah. But number 3, like, I don't know, like a whole bunch of, like, my computer broke. Like, I can't even play half the files I created for it. So, like, and it's just been an uphill battle. Like Gilliam's, what was that movie Gilliam tried to make for years and years?
Oh
Don
yeah.
Quixote.
He just recently lost the rights to it finally, so maybe we'll actually get to see the movie without him at the helms.
Whew. This third one's an uphill battle, bro.
Man, maybe somebody will have to take your rights to your own movie and finish it without you.
Hey,
That might be
If I
wishful thinking for you, though, eh?
yes. If I could find a way to pay back the people who contributed money to it, I would shelve it and go live in a cave.
I remember it was a Kickstarter that you had, and it was about at $3,000, and it was just time was about to run out, and I guess it was just one investor who invested the final $7,000, from what I remember.
Yeah. That was a friend. He saved it. Every day I'm in his debt and the debt of everyone else.
Now you're
Who put
obligated.
towards it.
It's like this sort of obligation you have, like it's almost like a cloud over you.
You're absolutely correct. It is a cloud. But it's not a cloud I've given up on at all. I just, I need the time to do it.
Yeah, very early on, you were posting some videos just behind the scenes. You're working on some models and miniatures, and you made a monster and everything, just on your YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, well, life isn't always smooth, But thanks everybody for waiting. I'll have it soon. 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary of the Kickstarter, it'll come out. There's been many Kickstarters that I've been involved with, and lots of them have just seemed to fall off the face of the earth. It's like not a very uncommon story, except yours is that you're still saying that you're working on it, at least.
Oh, I am. Just piece by piece. The first one was a total shit show.
It was almost hard to watch. It was crazy. Like it's an experience. Alert, we're talking about your first feature film.
Yeah.
Like there was no storyline. It's non-linear, and it was just there was moments that are really creepy, and then there was like some animation parts where like it should have just been released and cut out as a short. But then your second feature film had a bit more of a storyline, but it was a little bit tough to follow too, because there's puppets as characters, and then they just kind of disappear.
Yeah. Well, if you had any questions about that, I could try to answer them for you, because the whole thing makes perfect sense to me.
I've seen it a few times now, and it's starting to make more sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like a whole time travel element to it as well. At the very, I think it comes in near the end though. It's not like at the beginning.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I think I'm going to play the trailer in this podcast for the people at
thank
home.
you.
Because I love it.
Hi, Sal.
Jimmy, I just closed a great deal with Bronson.
What does that mean?
We get money. Just sign on the X and we're ready to go.
And we are about to see said masterpiece.
So Jeremy, she's coming to get you.
So what? Who cares? I don't want to meet them. Good morning, sunshine.
Who are you?
I'm Susan.
How do you feel about poltergeists and the afterlife?
What?
Ghosts, hauntings, things that can't be explained.
You want me to introduce other poets?
Do you like sushi?
I'm gonna use my fingers to put them.
Thanks, man. I'll work on making it available again.
Isn't it available for streaming in some places?
It was on a site called Indie Rain, but they tanked.
Oh, okay.
And
I know there's
haven't-
options on YouTube where you could charge for streaming.
Yeah. The downer part is that the movie was shot in high def, but the encoding on the DVD is 720 by 480,
Right.
and the DVD is all I have now because the hard drive with
crashed.
the movie on it, it got destroyed.
Been there.
So
done
I'm kind of
that.
stuck. Yeah, I don't know how cool people would be with me uploading I don't know.
A standard definition film. I think if they're interested enough in seeing the film, it shouldn't really bother that much. But people have become such HD files; it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot more available now via streaming than was when I shot that. That was back in like 2006 or something. Now stuff's just crazy.
Yeah, so I think the point is that you're an artist, and it doesn't matter the medium, whether it be film or a canvas, or music. You play a lot of your own music and release it for free.
Yeah, I don't need to ask for permission to use that. And you or anybody watching is free to use it as long as you're not making money off it.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's very.
It's all downloadable.
It's unique too in electronic. All of it, I would say.
Yeah, I used to play the drums. But I started working a job where I'd work like 2 to 11 shifts. So your choices are to, wake up early and play the drums alone, or try to make music some other way that's not going to bother people because I live with other people and you can't go playing the drums at midnight. I mean, you could.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Waking
So I
everybody
started
up.
making drum music on a computer with headphones. That's how that worked.
It is the music that I listened to last, I didn't listen to a lot of it, but it does seem very percussion based, even in the electronic world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I love the drums.
So what kind of paintings do you have working on right now? What are you working on for the greater people? Works in progress.
Shit. I got nothing. It's all packed up.
No one paid you to paint anything lately?
No, they did, but I paint it and then I glaze it and then I pack it up and mail it out.
Oh, I see.
So,
What
yeah.
about? Well, let's talk about your Patreon. That's a brand new thing that you're trying out.
Yeah.
And the way the Patreon works is that you pay a specific amount each month, and if you pay like the lowest tier, you get a thank you. But the second tier, you get access to some more content on the Patreon site itself. And then like the top tier, you actually paint your most popular product, your 5x7 mystery paintings, and you send it out each month. So it'll be like a monthly
correct.
package.
Absolutely.
I love this.
People like getting mail.
This tier system that you've worked out. It's very good. Like it's what is it? It's I don't know. It just seems plausible that you could actually come through with everything that you say that you're going to come through with.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm doing it anyway. Why not have some stability, you know?
To buy one painting, would it be cheaper just to buy one painting than to be part of your Patreon?
Yeah, it would.
But that's not the point.
let's
The
see.
point is to support you.
Right, right. See, I'll break, like, okay, an $8 mystery painting inside the continental United States costs $3 to mail. Outside, it doesn't matter, but you can, outside the U.S., you can sign up for the art, and I'll send it to you on a board instead of a mat board instead of hardboard. I could send that as mail as the same price as a letter, so it basically evens out. But
Oh, so you sell to international?
yeah, I figured out how to do that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no one's taken me up on it yet, but time will tell. I haven't really advertised it much, but I'm going to have to.
Hi, my name is Jim Ether, and this is a video from my Patreon page. Patreon is a monthly service where you can sponsor an artist to keep them arting, basically. Well, I'm a painter. I like painting. I paint cartoony things. I paint pretty pictures of people as well as ugly pictures of people. I like to paint landscapes and animals and skulls and all sorts of things. And by supporting my Patreon, you'll help me continue to do these things. Patreon works on a tier system where you can choose the level you wish to support someone. I've chosen 3 tiers. Tier 1 is $1 a month. For $1 a month, you can keep this guy painting. Not only that, but I'll thank you for being a patron at the end of every one of my videos. You'll have access to my Patreon blog and occasional coupons for my Etsy shop if you'd ever like to pick up some art. Tier 2 is $5, and for $5 a month, you'll get all the good stuff from the first tier and access to video content where I paint things, or try to paint things, or try to draw things, as well as art tips I've learned throughout the years that may help you. At least 4 videos a month, 1 a week. In Tier 3, here's the cool one. For $15 a month, you'll get all the stuff from the other 2 tiers, plus actual art mailed to your home every month. Most of the time, it'll be a 5x7 mystery painting like the ones shown here, but sometimes it'll be something special. I like surprising people. Well, that's the lowdown on the hoedown. Thanks for watching this, and if you'd care to help me continue making art, that'd be pretty cool. Thank you.
Well, it seemed fairly successful. You're already about 40% of your goal of $500 a month. So
Yeah, I'm very grateful that there are some diehards. Aren't you? Didn't you sign up?
not yet.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I will.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. There are a lot of familiar names, very supportive folks, and yeah, they helped me out. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, to answer your question about the money, it's a little bit. It's like $3 cheaper to just buy a mystery painting, but you don't get videos.
You don't get the video content.
Right, and you're not always going to get a mystery painting. Sometimes you're going to get something way cooler.
Oh, that's right. I remember I saw the video. I was like, it might be a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, because these people, you know, they're saving me, so you got to pay that back. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Is there anything else you'd like to promote? Just your website, I guess?
There's nothing going on there. I mean, yeah, it's like a hub to all my work. Parasarc.com.
It'll take you to the Etsy,
Yep.
YouTube.
Music that's free.
You've actually produced some books too. You made this fictional yearbook.
Oh yeah.
That was a Kickstarter
no,
as well.
It was. That was one of my first when I got here, I think, or my second.
Yeah, I missed out.
No one's bought that.
I missed out that Kickstarter, so I was lucky that you did sell it on your website, so I bought it after the fact.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. I was one of the few that bought it. I bought a hard copy after the fact, so I didn't have it autographed or anything. It's just a plain book.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Because I signed every book from all the different students from the perspective of the relationships of the other fake students. So I filled like, it was like 40 books or something, and I had to make personalities for every single person and fill out
a lot of these
people.
These characters that were in the yearbook weren't even all your creations. They're other people's creations too.
That's right. Yeah, they told me what they wanted the person to look like, and some of them were real people from real photographs, and some of them were.
Robert Benford, I remember, was probably the most famous person in there. He just did himself.
Yeah, he likes that. Old Bobby.
Old Bobby.
Yeah, well, thank you for buying that book. Send it to me. I'll fill it out for you.
Oh man, I might have to do that.
Okay.
Next time I buy some artwork.
It'll happen again. Buy anything. Just send it to me.
I'll just do it anyway.
Okay.
I like your artwork. Some of my favorite pieces that I got you to paint was the cat dinosaur taxi driving Joe Pesci erotically.
That was wonderful.
I loved how much fun you had painting that one because I got painting with Jim episode along with that, so I got to see you create it.
Hey, it was a car with a dick. That's funny.
And struggling painting Joe Pesci, real people, but he really pulled off. It really looks like him.
Yeah, that was during. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten a little better. I would hope I got a little better. Yeah, that was rough. I like it when I get super frustrated and I have to shoot it.
Yeah, there's like I swear must be like an hour of missing footage you just cut out and like, okay, that's it. You stenciled it out, you got it projected, like, yeah, and that's what worked. So that's what we get to see.
Yeah. Well, the stenciling bit it's not riveting to watch because it's dark.
It's tough to see sometimes when you do it. You did that Cobra piece was your last one. That was a fantastic piece of artwork. Like,
thank you.
I know you weren't trying to go for like a Mexican knockoff piece, but that's what it looks like, and I just love it. It's so good.
I know. I knew it was going to turn out like that.
I've never seen the movie. I've only seen the trailer for that movie, but man, that trailer gets you. It's like, oh my god, it's just like the most action-packed movie I've ever could imagine wanting to see.
The movie's fucking terrible, man. Oh god, it's bad.
Maybe it's just one of those things that, like, those fake trailers that they ended up making Machete out of. It might have been just better just as the fake trailer. They didn't need to make the feature-length movie down the road.
Well, I'm sure back in the day they made more money on it than it took to make it. I think isn't that the Hollywood metric? That if you bring in more than it costs to make it, then it's worth making. That's why there's so much shit. But it's not like that anymore now that.
The Hollywood system's all weird. Like, they know that movies that made money in the past, they'll just redo it because they have the rights and they'll make it again. And sure enough, it makes the money again. People will buy it.
Why not?
Yeah. Maybe we should do a Canadian remake of Onward to Calgary. Only we'll go to America this time.
Oh, that would be terrible.
It would be. I heard that they made a Mexican remake of Breaking Bad, but they remade the whole series in one season.
That was good.
Was it?
I watched that. Yes, that was fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, and sometimes you see like they remake shows. There was this awesome show in Canada called Kenny versus Spenny, but after that took off, they sold the format to other countries, and is like some countries they did their own original thing, but in some countries they just redid every episode shot by shot. It's ridiculous.
They Trey Parker and Matt Stone bought that, and we had that here. We had Kenny and Spenny here for a year or two.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was
yeah.
They produced one season, is what happened. Man, that show was fantastic.
Yeah.
I just saw them. They came to. They were doing a tour of Canada, so they passed through my town of Prince George. So I bought the meet and greet tickets, so I got to meet them. It was kind of cool. They raised me. Kenny versus Spenny. They raised me. TV. Canadian television, shit like that. Tom Green.
Yeah, I like that guy.
But they're like the original jackasses. All those guys.
Yeah. Someone had to one up them and get more extreme. I don't know. Has anyone got more extreme than Jackass?
The Dudesons in Sweden. They actually include them in the jackasses, but they're just absolutely terrifying how nuts they are. And just like they have an outhouse outside, and they'd like, I can't even remember what they were doing, but they'd wait for somebody to use the outhouse and go underneath and fuck up with them when they're shitting. Like, oh goddamn! And they're so graphic about it too. They don't give a fuck.
Do they have universal health? Do they have a countrywide healthcare in Sweden?
I think so. I'm not 100% though.
Okay. So yeah, that's true. That would give you.
Yeah, I never really thought about the health plan aspect of it. I guess it was easier for the Canadians to do it because they didn't have to worry about having insurance or whatever.
Yeah, Stanhope did a great bit about public violence. Okay.
What's wrong, Billy?
It's my walls. They're so drab and ugly and gross.
Well, I have an idea. With the wave of my magic wand, I'll adorn your walls with new and colorful paintings by your pal Jimmy.
Wow, amazing!
You betcha. Jimmy offers artwork for prices that fit anyone's budget, from small to tall. Jimmy paints it all.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy.
Oh, well, I'm not Jimmy.
Well, who are you?
Oh, just a friend.
My camera stops after 30 seconds. Sorry about that. Shouldn't. You're good to go.
Cool. Stanhope did a bit about violence in the UK versus the US, and how there are brawls outside pubs Friday and Saturday nights, and people glassing each other and stuff because like they can just go to the hospital and not have to pay for it. But in America, if you try to start fistfights with people, you know, half the people have guns, and like just like a chipped tooth is going to cost you $3,000, so people don't get in as many fights as the UK. Douglas said it better. he had a good bit about how healthcare in countries could kind of regulate the behavior of people. Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, I think that might be true. Like, I don't do anything too crazy just because I don't want to get hurt, but like, it's never been a financial aspect to anything.
Well, you're in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm having these mental health issues growing up. I actually go to the doctor and get it dealt with, and I'm talked it out, and they set me up with counselors and stuff. It's been pretty good up here. I don't have to worry about any expenses.
That's all free of charge? Well,
yeah, except for the pills. Except for the pills.
But do they
have to pay for?
Affordable?
Yeah, they're affordable. And actually, since I do have a job, they're covered by my health care plan. But there's also other government agencies that will help people who can't afford the drugs too. So if it got to the point where I couldn't afford it, there are other avenues where I could get it free of charge.
Yeah. Yeah, there's help here too. You just have to hunt it down.
Right on.
People might be surprised if they felt very helpless here, that they couldn't get a hold of what they needed. There are services out there. You just need to find them.
Yeah.
But-
Do you find
but-
yourself in these cases, seeing you don't have health care, nothing, since you're an independent artist, right?
No, I have Medicaid solely for tax purposes, because if you don't have health insurance here, I don't. Well, at least I know in Massachusetts it started there. I'm sure you've heard the term Obamacare.
Yeah.
Yeah, the derogatory. Anyway, in my great state of Massachusetts, they started Obamacare there. It was Romney Care. Mitt Romney was the governor at the time, where you were penalized for each month you did not have coverage. So that's basically what people got the. What is that there? What is that?
It's
You
a
got
vape.
hookah?
It's a marijuana vape pen.
Oh, right on. So yeah, if you don't have health insurance in at least in Ohio and Massachusetts, and I don't know what other states maybe some people it doesn't count, but if you don't have health insurance, you get penalized. So I make such little money that I'm eligible for Medicare or Medicaid, one of them, which is my health insurance for the year, so I don't get an extra penalization.
That's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound very efficient.
Well, healthcare is one of the biggest money making, if not the biggest money making, biggest money makers in the world. So I don't think America really wants to give that up. I don't think the medical companies really want to give that up.
Yeah, as soon as the government makes money in any way, like they put a toll on on a bridge or something, they say, "Oh, this is just a temporary for the war type thing, like World War I." And now it's 2018, and people are still paying tolls on the bridge. It's like, what? It's money. We can't give it up. Like, still got to pay for this bridge, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with paying tolls. You don't want a road full of potholes.
Yeah, it happened actually in Vancouver earlier this year. The big bridge in Vancouver, the Port Mann Bridge, they actually got rid of the toll on that. I guess the way they did it is that you just drove across the bridge just seamlessly, and they took a picture of your license plate, and then you just get a toll bill in the mail. They finally cut that out.
Oh, so you don't get charged anymore?
Not in Vancouver for that bridge, at least.
Oh, that's
there was another bridge that didn't cause a charge, but you'd have to drive all around Vancouver to get inside, so it's a lot more convenient now. That was like the NDP government, when the new Democratic Party, when they took over in Vancouver, and they finally got those liberal assholes out, Christy Clark.
I know absolutely nothing about Canadian politics, except that your PM is a hunk.
Oh man, he makes your probably doesn't look like a. Well, fuck, he doesn't need any description. Everybody knows what he looks like.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that man.
No, me neither. We could talk about our prime minister for days.
Oh, Justin.
No, he's not that in. Mr. Dress Up, we call him. He dresses up for every culture that he gets a chance to.
Mr. Dress Up. I like that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's another Canadian program. He was like our Mr. Rogers in Canada. He talked to some puppets, and he'd dress up. He had the tickle trunk.
Justin Trudeau?
No, I'm talking about the TV show that they call him Mr. Dress Up.
Oh!
Mr. Dress Up was a TV show, yeah.
I understand, all right.
Yeah, when people bring up Mr. Dress Up as the TV show, apparently he was doing it for years. Like my parents watched him growing up as a little kids program, and then he was still on the air like 4 decades later. So he was a bit of a cultural icon, I guess, in Canada at least. Except for the youth these days. I don't know if he's even worth looking up. He was just he was on TV. That was his big claim to fame. I used to watch TV all the time. I still do. You know my job? I work in a TV station here in Prince George. I watch TV for a living.
Oh, Christ.
I did it. I made it to the other side. My parents were like, don't sit too close to TV. Your eyes will go square. Like, maybe it'd be better if my eyes were square for my job. Be better for watching TV.
What do you watch TV for?
I'm like a quality control. I make sure that the image is all good and make sure the commercials go to air.
Oh, all right. So this is for one specific channel?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
All right.
not like I get to choose. Yeah, they play some pretty horrible stuff. It's so boring. But, like, the job exists. I do it.
It works.
I bet it beats painting all day, every day. I don't know.
Everything has their things, man.
How much time do you spend painting a day?
About 5 or 6 hours.
And that's every day?
Most of the time. Yeah. If I can get a break, I'll take it. I like having days where I can pretend I'm a normal person. I just don't think of work. Yeah. Yeah, I paint on. Maybe not. Maybe I just, dedicate about 6 hours a day to work. Whether it's cleaning or packing or painting.
Right. I guess packaging up the paintings takes a large bit of your time too, eh?
It takes a lot. It comes with the territory. Yeah. But it's cool. We'll see how much longer I can do this.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been saying that for a long time, though. 8 years has been going on now. This is a pretty impressive stretch, I'd say.
Yeah. I like it.
Did you lose any hair or anything over this? It seems like it can't be not stress feet territory.
Oh yeah. I've gotten a lot more gray hair. My hairline thinning here. My nerves are cooked. But it's cool. I mean, it's just life.
That's all good, eh?
Yeah. I made it. I'll keep trying. I know next year is going to be the big year. Next year I'm gonna make
2019.
it.
Holding out.
Yeah, that's my year. Oh, you're a Kids in the Hall fan? Actually. Can you see my shirt? You can't see my shirt. I have an Armada shirt on.
Nice.
Are you
No, I'm not
familiar?
familiar.
Oh, all right. It was.
I saw Bruce McCulloch in concert. He came and did a comedy show here, but he's about as... And I like Dave Foley's work post Kids in the Hall, but I'm never really familiar with their work.
You saw him as Brucio?
Brucio.
Was he performing as Brucio?
No, it was himself. He was Bruce McCulloch.
Oh. All right. I thought he had a music act for a while called Brucio, where he had these goofy songs.
Ooh, I know he had a guitar there, and he did a little bit of music along with his show, but it was mostly just a comedy act.
That's easier.
That way you don't have to bring all these musicians on the road. He did have a guitarist on stage with him, which I thought was really cool. The audience was like, it was not packed at all. It was like maybe like 1/5 full. The biggest 200-seater theater that we have here. So
Sorry,
what's
Bruce.
the shirt?
Oh, it's a band on the Kids in the Hall, and their whole shtick is, we're gonna make it, and they never make it.
We're gonna make it, Jim. Me and you, man. We're gonna be both professional whatever we do.
Yeah,
I haven't even decided what I do yet.
you don't need to. You keep doing what you want.
Yeah.
If you don't like it,
I
you
love
try
watching
something
TV.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Good advice, Jimmy.
Hey. That's, we have a joke around here. As when something's bothering you, you say, "Oh, just don't think about it." Problem solved.
Problem solved. That's right. Geez, most of my problems were just in my head. Like,
oh, just don't think about it, Garrett. Garrett, just don't think about it. Yeah, there you go.
No problems at all. Just don't think about the things that annoy me. And it's like, oh,
yeah,
you're just a lot happier. You think about things that make you happy.
It's so simple. Why didn't someone think of this before?
I think, yeah, this is like the subject of a book, a self-help book.
Exactly.
This could be the shortest self-help book.
Oh, you could have 250 blank pages. You could have one
just for sketching.
Yeah, it's like instead of thinking sad thoughts, sketch.
That's true too. Art was such a release for me at one point.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a great way to get stuff out.
My problem was that I never sold any of my paintings, and I gave away very few, so I still have them all. I have like 100 pieces of art just hanging around my house, 150 actually. I have like the 100 cats that are all the same hanging up on one wall, and then I have another wall that's just filled with all the other pieces that aren't cats.
I'll try to go. Do you want to sell them?
I'm thinking about it. Some of them I want to keep, but I'm thinking I'd like to do an art show before I start selling them while I still have the 100 cats when I finish.
That would be a spectacle. That would be fun to see.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be a good start too, because I think a lot of people would want to buy paintings at the art show.
Absolutely.
And then we could just move online from there, I suppose.
Yeah. I wouldn't claim to know the correct pathway to take for a successful art career, but any path in a direction where more people see you is a good step. Diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
I, like you, don't just have my one foot in one thing. Like, I do videos on YouTube and stuff, and then I paint and make music and when I get the chance.
All that
fun.
stuff.
It's just a creative lifestyle, I guess.
Exactly.
But none of it, I've never made any money off of any of it, really.
Oh.
Besides watching TV.
I only started making money off it about 8 years ago, man. I've been doing it since 2000.
That's 18 years ago.
Yeah. I started making artwork, like painting in 2000, but only started really getting paid for it 8 years ago. So 10 years of trying.
That's depressing.
Why is that depressing?
10 years of not succeeding out doing what you love. I don't know, but I guess you had a part-time job.
No.
And
Yeah, but what part of that is not succeeding? You have to just keep doing it. You keep doing it.
I guess I'm doing it now. So
right, you're doing
maybe
it right now.
it's just depressing because I'm there right now, and just like I don't see the other side too well.
Well, you have to keep going. I don't see it either, man. I don't see it either.
Right on.
It's true. There's just small victories, you know. Making one person happy, that's a victory for the day. I can't ask for anything more.
I'm sure it's more than one person these days. It's just your Twitter and however you share. Because all these paintings that you paint, you put them online for free, and I'm sure that gets you tons of exposure.
Exposure is the right word.
Yeah, you can't monetize that though, eh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's cool. If people like it, I hope they do. That's cool. Whatever, we're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah, sad truth, but
Yeah.
sad but true.
Yeah.
Should we wrap this thing up?
Sure, that sounds good. Before we start talking about death.
Start talking about death. That's wait. So Parasark.com.
That's
where
me.
people want to go. That's it'll take you to the Etsy. It'll take you to his YouTube.
Yeah,
it's
it'll
fantastic.
take you everywhere. And please go visit it because I pay $120 a year to keep that site up for some reason. And there's
It's a
nothing-
hub. I think it's important. I know Robert Benford stopped having his website completely, and it's just only his YouTube now. And then Jim, it's the guy from Film Cow. He kept up his website, Jason Steele. I think it's worthwhile keeping it up just for that.
Yeah, every little bit helps.
Totally.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Thanks a lot for being on the GP podcast, number 11.
Thank you for having me, Garrett. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, it was a good conversation, I think.
We tried.
Right on. Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Take care.
Cut.
Hey, this is Jimmy for Jimmy's Bargain Basement. You want a little special something painted up for your little thingy-wingy? Why don't you come see me? What, am I not good enough for you? I got good prices. I'll paint small. I'll paint big. I'll paint whatever the you want. I don't give a I'm not afraid of no big things. Come down to Jimmy's Bargain Basement. I'll paint you up a little something. You're gonna love it. I'll send it right to your house. It'll be great. Your family's gonna love it. Your wife's gonna love it. Your kids are gonna love it. It's free